All right, everybody. We're here at the virtual shot booth. Kind of great coincidence. I was upstairs and I saw one of these devices and I was like, I need to go see that. And then turns out our friend Burkel, everybody knows Burkel, is actually working the booth with you guys, so you guys have a relationship. When we know our people only deal with good people, so it's like you're already kind of in with us. Now, you guys know, typically we talk about dry practice as opposed to dry fire. You could go back in the channel and see the whys and whats of that, but we must keep an open mind. It's #1 on the gear list. And technology is something that may bring some changes. And it looks like the guys over at Virtual Shot may be making something that can kind of change some of our opinions on that dry fire aspect of things. So Daryl, if you wouldn't mind, let them know.
Sure.
Yeah, how about it?
Cool, so I'm Daryl, I'm one of the co-founders of Virtual Shot.
And now you have an accent, is that New Jersey?
No, it's Australia.
Australia?
Yeah. So, out from Australia. Background to us is we're a company that's started by a bunch of Australian military veterans. So I spent most of my career in the infantry. We've got Matt, one of the other guys, spent time in special forces. Aaron spent time in artillery. Really what we saw is when we were in the army, we saw a gap in the soldier training continuum. Okay, soldiers would go maybe 4 to 6 months without shooting live rounds down range. And what would happen is they'd get a massive skill fade in that time. And so we saw an opportunity to build a product that would help them do that. I was saying it before, like dry fire has always been around, is always a thing, and it's really valuable doing dry practice, all right? But dry fire can be bloody boring sometimes. So it's really hard to get people doing dry fire constantly because there comes a point where they're just like, I'm just bored pulling the trigger here. So what we decided to do was build a dry fire simulation system. Okay, so our system enables you to attach a mobile phone to a firearm. It then creates a virtual reality window inside the phone which tracks all the firearm's movement, and then it listens to the dry fire sound. So when it hears that click...
I'm just going to continue.
So when it hears that click of the firing pin or the trigger, it then fires the shot. Perfect.
We've got a ton of wires here, but if you guys can see that, so pretty nifty.
It works on mobile phone applications. So what I'm doing now is just changing it to pistol mode because we've got a pistol set up here. So you download the mobile phone app to your phone. All right, it works on Android and iOS. Okay, you attach it with one of our mounts. So this is the Virtual Shot pistol mount. So it attaches to the accessory rail underneath the barrel there. It's just a standard Picatinny connection there. All right. What you do is, I'll just go into the range and I'll set it up now. So I'll just mute that. What it does is it tracks all that movement. So if you see in there, it's tracking that real movement of the firearm.
Let's see if we can use our high-tech camera software that we have to be able to show this well.
What I'll do...
So as I move the gun, I'm actually moving and keeping everything in line downrange. A little harder to align your sights with this camera system that we use. That is not a virtual shot issue. That's the technology needed to show the technology hasn't been developed yet. Right?
Absolutely. So what we do is a little bit of calibration. So that dot there, I'm just lining up with the front post and rear post. Once I've got it lined up, I can turn that off. And then what we do is we can bring the target in. Well, we've got low power going on because we're using this phone a bit. So we bring that target in. Okay, now I had the sound detection muted. It's very loud in here, so we get some false shots. But really what it's doing is listening to that dry fire click.
I tried it upstairs. It's accurate. Right? Like I put a little bit of low left. And it showed it to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. So basically just activate that and then
Yeah.
Far
Awesome.
away.
Very cool. Now you said this is your pistol mount,
Correct. Yep.
and that sounds to me like there might be something other.
There is, yeah. So when you buy Virtual Shot, it actually comes in a box with a whole bunch of mounting options. Essentially, you can make about 4 different mounts out of all the mounting options. Okay, so what you can make is the pistol mount, which we just saw, or we can also make this here, which is the what we call a Picatinny scope mount. All right, you can attach it to an AR platform. What it does is it creates a virtual scope reticle inside the system. All right, so what I've got running here is the Mantis Blackbeard. All right,
Okay.
the Mantis Blackbeard is a trigger reset system made by Mantis, awesome device, and it resets the trigger, okay, because we need that dry fire click
Right.
to activate our system. So what it does is resets that trigger in between trigger pulls.
Now you said there's reticle options in there.
There are.
So if I have an AR with a mill reticle,
Yep.
I can select the mill option
Correct.
to kind of mimic what I would be
Yeah,
using.
absolutely. Yeah, and not only that, it's got a full ballistic system built into it, right?
And, do you have like a Tremor 3 and like any of the like weird kind of
We don't really.
boutique-y-
We're starting to kind of work with some of the different
Okay.
scope manufacturers and starting to get a few of additional reticles built into the system.
Cool.
But it's kind of a library that we're working on improving. over
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Yep. So guys, you can't have it all right out of the gate, right? So,
Yeah.
but very cool.
So the other thing is it's got ballistics built into it. All right, at the moment I've got it set on 223. All right, but if I come back out of here, I'll show you the ballistic settings. So we can come in here on the app, and we've got some ballistic presets here. So I can flick it from 223 profile to a 308. All right, I've got a 3060 in there. But if we don't have your preset, you can customize all of that. So you can adjust sight over bore height, muzzle velocity, ballistic coefficient of the round, bullet grain, and also bullet diameter too. The idea is whatever you shoot real life, you can program into the system, so you can train dry fire with the same bullet drop, wind effects, holdovers, everything that you do live.
That's pretty nifty, man. You know the obvious SHOT Show questions. Can they get it now?
We can get it now.
They can get it now.
Yep.
Prices
Prices is $149.
for that entire box.
$149. That's
A-
right.
and the app.
And the app, $149.
And how much is a subscription?
Subscription, so that comes with a 12-month subscription.
Okay.
All right. Even if you decided not to renew the subscription, though, you will always maintain access to the open range, so you'll still be able to use it forever. All right. What the subscription gives you is a few advanced features. So we've got over 100 different ranges and stages built in there.
Okay.
Everything from like IPSC style ranges, gallery ranges. We've got like steel challenge built in there for pistols and stuff like that. There's heaps of different levels in here. We've got mini games, so you've got like zombie shooting and hunting.
Okay.
And so even when you're shooting a zombie at 300 yards, because of that ballistics, you've just got to use your holdovers,
and
aim offs.
gotta be a headshot.
Got to be a headshot to kill a
Gotta
zombie.
be a headshot.
Yep, exactly. Otherwise, they just crawl at you on the screen. So the other thing that's really cool that I'm not sure if the guys told you up at the dry fire booth is we've actually built in a shooting coach into the system. Right. So we've actually I'm taking it off the mount for this because it's easy to show me off the mount. So we're collecting a whole bunch of data in this AI shooting coach. All right. What happens is when you load it up, all right, we come into the overall. Oh, you know what? We've lost the connection just due to the Wi-Fi here, but let me pull off this phone here because I'll be able to show you on this one.
And I'm guessing you have tons of videos on your website.
We do have a few videos on the website.
So
constantly
how do
growing.
what's the website?
Sure.
Tell them how to find you.
Yeah, website is virtual-shot.com. If you just search virtual shot in Google, we should come up top of the search results.
Okay.
All right, and you'll find us there. But let me quickly show you the shooting coach, right? Because I think you'll love it. So when we come in here to the shooting results, all right, what we can see is a whole bunch of metrics. So we actually collect about 8 different metrics for the shooter. All right, in all of their positions. All right, we're looking at the extreme spread and the mean radius of the shooting. We're looking at the accuracy of the shot. We look at the horizontal stability, the vertical stability, the aiming accuracy. And we also collect 2 metrics on trigger pull. We've got cleanness of the trigger and timing of the trigger.
So typically, like when one of my friends, like Garrett Matson, is shooting, and I refer to him as having a 7 MOA flinch.
Yep.
Now I can actually know it's not necessarily a 7 MOA flinch in that direction. It's 5 horizontally and 2 vertically.
Exactly, breaks it all down. Yeah, so all the data, right? You can look at shot data, your performance over time. But what's really cool is a lot of people don't really understand all these metrics and what they mean. Like shooting coaches might, experienced shooters might. But what we've done is we've built in a AI shooting coach. All right, so what this thing does is it scrapes all that data and ingests all that data, and it actually builds a word picture that's easy to understand for someone about what they're doing well and what they need to improve on.
Dude.
Then not only that, it goes and builds a custom range shoot for them that targets their weaknesses. And so the idea is that whatever you're shooting, whatever it's identified as a weakness for you, it builds a custom range for you with instructions on what you need to shoot and how you need to improve. And it allows you to go through that cycle every 24 hours, shoot, collect more data, give you feedback, give you a new range, start shooting again.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Something tells me that you'll be able to get like hands-on with this in Camden at some point. So if you're coming to train with us, feel free, ask about the virtual shot. I'm going to do what I can to put one on my gun. So stay tuned. Remember, no matter how much you dry practice, you do still have to get out there and do some live fire. You're going to need to go out and get training under the watchful eye of an instructor. SHOT Show, we are giving a coupon code to anybody watching. It's called First Time Student, all smashed together, on our website, tacticalresponse.com. That will get you $100 off your first class at Tactical Response, which should be fighting pistol. So, guys, thank you very much. Again, one more time, tell them where they can find you.
So you can find us at virtualshot.com, so virtual-shot.com. Also, we've got a special during SHOT Show as well. All right, there's a 20% discount if you use the coupon code SHOT24. SHOT24 will give you a 20% discount on the Virtual Shot product online right now.
All right, guys, remember, anytime doing dry practice or dry fire, follow your dry practice ritual. You must make sure that that gun is clear. You are nowhere near any ammunition. So make sure you follow that procedure. And remember, your responsibility to be ready for the fight never ends.